Oh, good morning, guys. Oh, I really need a haircut. I would love to go out today and go get my haircut. I don't think it's going to happen. I keep saying, or the day that I decide to go out, I'm going to take my wallet. So that's what I need to do. I could go get it at lunch and do it at lunchtime, but it is only me and Max on the machining side today, and really we need Liam in as well. I need some rest. um, Yes, so I'm doing swimming pool lights, back on the swimming pool lights again today. So the swimming pool lights, I shall show you. That is this little baby, and I tell you what, you wouldn't know it, but it's so heavy. It really is. It feels like it weighs a kilo. I mean, it probably doesn't. It's probably about half that. But um, yeah, it's just literally. It came out really well. Slightly the finish just slightly on the back where that hole is not so nice, but we're going to have to sand and brush it anyway, which kind of finishes it off. But I mean, everything else came out well. I mean, the slot, I don't know if you can see this, the slot for the LED just slightly off it for whatever. There was some issue in cam and it didn't come around and actually do this corner. That's not a problem, but I have adjusted it so that when we do the next ones, it will come out right. Dimensionally, it is bang on for the surface that I really care about, which is where this O-ring sits. So yeah, and I still don't know. I've got no thread gauges still, so it's going to be an interesting one, that. So I'm going to go on and go and do some improvement bits and pieces, and then get the lathes fired up. Hopefully, get the top made and get this assembled and get it in the tank downstairs. Well, we're into another day. There wasn't like as much to report kind of yesterday, so I just thought I'd like wrap the 2 days up into one video. So it's early in the morning. I've been in for about an hour now. Doing more 3D printed holders. That area is getting super organised. I'm quite happy with how it's progressing. It's taken a lot longer than I thought, but now I kind of understand how long it takes to label these items. I've got an expectation that's like, actually, it's probably going to be a whole another week before that whole set of racks is finished. So it's just like about an hour every day or so on that. Yeah, really is that much work. I had a customer do an order last night, which I picked up this morning, and they've already paid, and I'm so grateful because I sound so stupid, but it was like a £2,000 order, and it meant that I could pay Max. I'm like, oh, like I've been waiting to pay Max for ages. I feel so bad for the guy, and so it was. Yeah, it sounds silly, but just to be able to pay his wages, I'm like, oh, thank God for that. Um, yeah. So next, I've got to decide. So we need to order cable, and we need to really pay our aluminium supplier because at the moment we can't actually order any material. So again, it kind of like wipes out the cash, and it's like, oh. It's like, get a little bit in and it has worse to go back out again. But yeah, we really like, at the moment, I'm kind of like machining really, not random stuff, but stuff that, like we need to get stock of, but stuff that probably I wouldn't normally prioritize, just because we've got the stock of material for it. So yeah, it's a little bit odd at the moment. Well, it's lunchtime and it's going really well. We've just we've changed a few things with regards to lunch. So there was an issue yesterday with a couple of guys taking longer lunches, and I think, to be honest, there are quite a few people that are guilty of it at different times. There's a couple of people I know are pretty bang on with it, and there's a few that I know that haven't been. And do you know what the fix was? It's so simple. Everyone has the same lunch. Easy. So we all go on lunch at 12. We're all back at 1. There's no then questioning, where, what, why, and how. Everyone knows that's the time, and it's easy. So it's a shame because I like the flexibility. I like being able to go to people. If you want to stop for lunch for 11, or if you want to stop at lunch for 1:30, or whatever, you can. And sadly, what happens is you get people taking the mick a bit, and it ruins it for everyone. But it is what it is, isn't it? And so the easiest system to put in place is to make sure everyone has exactly the same lunch. And if you do that, then it solves the issue straight away without any, I don't need to trap people. I don't need people to sign in and out or anything like that. It's just done. We expect everyone back at 1. You go on at lunch at 12. If you don't go on lunch at 12, that's your problem. as harsh as it sounds, but it is necessary, because like literally, so yesterday 2 of the guys took 15 minutes longer on their lunch break than they should have. And if you're only working, they only work 9 till 4, 1 hour lunch break paid, and then we do 45 minutes of 3S and morning meeting. So there's not many working hours a day. So to sort of like steal away like another quarter of an hour in lunch. And the thing is I know that it's been going, I know that this kind of thing's been going on for a while, and I imagine that you know, we're talking about quite a number of days of labour lost from our manufacturing capacity, whatever. And it's, you know, it's frustrating. Of course, you can't, you know, people are at work, you can't obviously ensure that they're necessarily, you know, all being as properly efficient as they possibly can. There's no way of actually doing that. But, you know, you just do your best really, and obviously with the lunch bit, I think that's the easiest way around it. So that's sorted. I kept having this swimming pool like still leaking, and I couldn't work it out. And it was because I didn't tighten the gland on the back enough. Isn't that funny? Basically, not doing up the gland on the cable as such, but actually doing up the thread portion where it screws into the back. Because basically this gland is plastic. It has no rubber seal. Yeah, it's IP68, and I believe the way it works is essentially it's as you do it up, you're kind of crushing the plastic thread and making it deform to the metal thread, and by doing that you're creating a seal with the plastic. It seems to be what it is, but it works brilliantly well, and we haven't had any issues. But I didn't realise that this was an issue, so I was discussing it with Cam. Obviously we need to put something in place to standardise that, you know, we need to go at it at a certain torque setting or similar. I think we need to go back to Whisker and speak to them about what that torque should be, and get maybe like a standardised spanner that's preset on that torque level. But you know, it's something that we've now identified as an issue, and know that because I've lost so much time changing tops, changing O-rings, I adjusted the dimensions of the top when I didn't need to change those dimensions. Well, at least I don't think I need to. I'll just put the old top back on just to make sure that we still don't have wall ring rest. I don't think we do, and I'd rather stick with the old dimension, because the old dimension was nice and consistent. It was basically bang on 36. It just means that then you know, like you're going, okay, well that's nice and standard, and you know, we're happy with that. So that's the plan. See how it turns out at the end of the day, hoping that I can get all of these swimming pool lights now machined, because we want to get onto recessed stainless steel and path marker stainless steel, because we're staying on stainless steel this week on Nakamura. We've now, with that money that came in earlier, we managed to pay the suppliers, so some of the suppliers anyway, so now we've got some material on order, so hopefully we can get back to stocking our aluminium side. Oh, well, I'm on my way home. I didn't, I should have filmed some more stuff while I was there. Sorry guys, I've got just so busy, just like this. Well, I wish the orders were busy. I mean, the orders, we had you know, I've said we had you know, like that new one from Peter Little. Got these 2 display cases to do. But it's, you know, the problem is, again, comes back to money. It's, I need to pay suppliers, and yeah, so that I can then order, because we need to order materials, because we need aluminium round bar, and we need other bits and pieces, and we just haven't got it at the moment. I'll just pull that down. There we go. We haven't got the bits and pieces, and it's you know, it's getting to the point where it won't be long before we've run out of material and then can't run the lathes. And you don't really want to be in that situation, because, well, there's still, you know, we still need to build up our stock so that we're ready for when, you know, things do get busier. I think Landscape Plus now are adding our spotlights to their website. It could be, well, I don't know yet, we'll see, but there might be something coming up with Artisan Electrical. That's a bit of a weird one, that, because the way it was kind of worded was like sponsor and this, that and the other, and I'm like, I can't really, sponsor's not really my thing. You know, like, I'll be involved with it, sure, but I don't, I'm trying to, I kept sort of Eli, who's the guy who's dealing with it, I kept trying to go, what do you want from us? And he's just like, oh, we just want you to just do a design and this, that, yeah. I'm like, oh. Okay, so, you know, I don't know, like the first message I got over Instagram kind of seemed like they wanted it all for free. And then like, there are bits that you can read in and go, actually, they want a quote. So I'm kind of confused about it. That's why I was like kind of differing with it, because normally I produce, if someone asks me for a quote, I do it like within an hour, you know, I don't mess about. But I kept going, well, what do you want? I'm confused, because he said about sponsor and stuff. So yeah, who knows? But they're like talking about Collingwood and stuff as well. Collingwood will, you know, gift stuff like that away, I think, but they're big enough, aren't they? I'm not, you know, I'm not in the position to start gifting stuff. I need money indoors, so it's not really one for me, I think. So the swimming pool lights have we basically broke one side of the parting off bar. It seems that perhaps the feed rate on an interrupted cut, so basically what I mean is there's a hole that's off centre, so it's a 10.2mm hole, and the parting off blade has to work its way through that as the part is spinning, and so, you know, it starts off with a nice smooth cut and then eventually hits this section where you've got this hole, so it's like chattering like hell, and that's a pressure that you don't really want on the parting off blade. And essentially I said to Max, I was like, that parting off blade, you know, it was doing grooves, and I was like, it doesn't sound right, and he's like, yeah, that's how it's been sounding. I'm like, no, it doesn't sound right, and he's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, okay, and it ran and it broke. And then we replaced the insert and rerun it, and it really broke. So that second bit was actually broke the bar. So we used the other side and dialed down the feed rate and changed its exit. So what happened before was it was coming in, doing parting off at a decent rate, pretty quick through stainless steel, getting to 10mm, and then coming out, and then bringing out the parts catcher, coming back in again, and then slowing down. I didn't really want it to come back out again. I'd rather it just stay in there, bring the parts catcher out, and then carry on. So I made the manual change, because Fusion 360 is great, but it doesn't necessarily deal with those transitions very well. Oh dear, that's me. Yes, it doesn't deal with those transitions very well. So there's times when you have to take a program and start manually editing it to kind of get it right to do. Oh yeah. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I've written this on here. It actually says Greg, but it looked back to front to you. So I said to Greg I would do an agreement today about what's, you know, what he's going to get and what we're going to do and what not. He's already set up social media sites and other bits and pieces, and started to try and set up this company for the Whisker Spike thing, and it's just arranging the last bits of money together to do that. So that's quite exciting to see it move on to pastures new and see it grow into its own entity, really, because at the moment it's being held back by us. You know, it's we haven't got the time to spend to market it, and yet we don't tend to really go without a day. There has been a beginning this year, but I mean, like, when now we're getting into the season, you won't really go with a day without some sort of order, or several orders in that day. We've had a few already, so it's keeping the guys busy, but it's not really the right busy that I want them to be working on. I want them to be working on the lights, and you know, like, so Cam did brilliantly well getting through the assembly of lights today. Despite there being some issues, gone back to there's basically machine-based issues where thread wasn't all the way through on the pathway back, and there was also a dimensional issue, not dimensionally measured wrong, but dimensionally designed wrong. Yeah, so there's a few things that we need to. We've already corrected them, but until we get it next on Nakamura, we can't do anything. And until we get the bar, we still can't do anything. So yeah, plan is tomorrow finish off the swimming pool lights and then get on to recessed backs and recessed tops. Recessed backs and recessed backs and pathway backs. half marker backs, and then I'll probably do recess tops as well. I wouldn't be surprised actually if we stay on still till end of day Monday now, because we'll probably end up spending a day on the recess as it is, and so at the moment we're only going to get half a day, but we want to build up a decent amount of stock while we're on it. So yeah, I've got lots of challenges at the moment. I've had another phone call from another supplier asking for payment. I can't do it, but I'm communicating. So I should probably communicate up front, but I guess I'm kind of leaving it until they contact me. I've got yeah. So I just need this. I want to get this deal concluded, and then we can get everything squared off and get back to a bit of normality on that front. Yeah, it's not easy, is it? Anyway, see you guys later.